Alright, let's begin painting the SD Zaku 2 cross silhouette. And I'm going to begin with the inner frame. You can see right here. And I'm going to be using the 320 dark green. I had opened up a new bottle of this paint. And as you can see, this paint is very, 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 very thick. Very thick. How do you deal with thick paint like this? I mean, normally when you have a paint that's very smooth and you put it on the reservoir, you mix it with thinner, that's fine. But then if you do something like this where you put it in the reservoir and then put it in the thinner and start shaking it, you still have a little bit of thickness in the bottom of the reservoir. So the last thing you want to do is do that. You may want to get yourself a little beaker and pour like a couple, the desired amounts in the beaker and then the thinner, and then mix it up. Maybe one of your empty bottles and mix it up. Or what I do is I put in, I fill up the reservoir with about 3/4 of a thinner. Then I take this, like the big blob that it is, drop it in there, start shaking it, and take it out where the blob is still there and put it back in the reservoir. Put it back in the bottle. And then I begin test spraying it to make sure that the consistency is, just about right. So you guys understand, I got this paint set free by Gundam Planet because apparently not many people realize how to work with this type of paint. Dark green is a great color to use on Zaku's. I don't know if I actually used this on the Leo. No, I actually used the other Mega Green colors from Megamo. So yeah, if you get your hands on number 320 and it's really thick, try to put a sizable amount inside of some sort of mixing cup. Put the thinner that you want and start shaking the inside, and then once you see that it's a good consistency, then you can pour it into the reservoir. Now, right now I actually put more thinner on this. This is basically maybe 40-60. 40 paint, 60 thinner, but at least it comes out nice and smooth now. It's slightly wet, but that's fine because as long as I spray paint it from a distance like this, I'll get the good coverage easily. Just do, back and forth, back and forth. Right now I'm just concentrating on the limbs. Definitely want to get the sides. Get the top. I primed this, by the way, black using a black primer from Elecly, the micro primer and filler. That should be fine. Still have a little bit left, but I'm gonna make sure I get all of it. I know that the skirt will cover up the joints for that, but let me see if I can get the side parts here, and then the forearms, and then the top. There we go. That's a good coverage right there. So, yeah, if you guys get your hands on this paint, just remember that it is thick. Maybe you'll get a bottle that is not as thick as it is right now. I don't know if it's based off the amount of pigments that's on this, or maybe because I've had this bottle for a long time, But I remember using this before, and not on the Leo as I mentioned, but something else, and it works. It really does. So let me clean this up and move on to the next color. So silly me, I was about to paint the next color, which is the darker parts for the waist and the torso and the back part of the head of the chest, with number 340, Field Green, which is a very good green, beautiful green. Unfortunately, it is dry as the desert itself. I gotta learn to open up all my paints and review them before I say I'm gonna start using them. So that goes into the garbage. Fortunately enough, I have to use this guy again. So, live and learn, of course. Since I've already painted this black, it'll look good. I had to touch it up again, thin it up again, I mean. Alright. To the back part. I gotta check all the green colors, and I'm not going to go to using the acrylic if I'm doing lacquer. I have the other green colors that I mentioned, the light green. I have a neon green, which is for the, for the sensors or whatever color that needs it, but not for this. And yet, it looks good. Look at this one. Let's do the last part. Oh yeah, this looks good. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Now we're done with the 320. But I'm going to give it a few moments to let it dry. I'll give it a second pass and we'll move on to the next color. Now we're going to move on to UG06 MS Green. And this is the lighter tone color that I don't remember ever trying this. We'll see how it is though. I'm going to use this first. The last thing I'm going to do a little mixture here. I'm not going to paint the insides though, because that looks good with the black background inside. I'm going to give it a light pass right now. That's good. Let's go with this one now. move my lamp closer to the side here to see this. So put that over there. Good. That's good. Hands. Alright. Let's go. Let's do the other hand here. Yeah, this is a nice paint. Good green color tone. Yeah, really good. Alright, so let me continue on with the remaining parts. This pretty much completes all the green. And then we'll move on to the darker tone colors. So just give me a moment. Next up is going to be the Titan's Blue 1. And we're going to be painting on the dark parts. See if we can get everything right. Do a light pass first. That's good. Now the feet. The feet. I'm trying to get as much coverage as I can, but you know what? I'm having some difficulties right now with the lighting, and me holding this hand like this is kind of hard. So we're just going to give it that standard pass, and then we'll repass it again later on. I should have foresaw that. This one should be easy to do. That's actually pretty good coverage, but I'll again repass it again if I have to. And this one. Okay. Let me just grab one of the knees. Alright, that's a good cover right there. Usually when you spray paint smaller parts, it seems to show more coverage than it does spray paint larger parts. This is actually the handle from the bazooka. Even though the bazooka is going to be painted the gray color, I'm going to paint the handle a darker tone. That should be fine, but I will review it later on. Alright, let me just finish up with the remaining parts and we'll move on to the next color.